Good morning, everyone. Our lesson today is Unit 3, Week 2, Survivaland. Genre, Fantasy. You know those books that have wizards and dragons and unicorns and elves? Stuff like that. We call those kinds of stories fantasy. So, what is a fantasy? Let's get started. What is a fantasy? The word fantasy basically means imaginary, make believe or pretend, and comes from an older word, imagination. But all fiction stories come from imagination. So what makes fantasy different from other kinds of fiction? Features of fantasy. Fantasy contains unreal things that could never be real in our world. A fantasy book might be set in a completely made-up place. Fantasy tells about magical characters and events that could not exist in real life. For example, you all remember the Lord of the Rings series. The Lord of the Rings is one of the most famous examples of fantasy of all. The fantasy involves many common themes, such as an adventure quest, a fight between good and evil, mythical creatures including elves, dwarves, and hobbits. Now, enjoy your fantasy video. Thank you and have a nice day.
For as long as I can remember, I've always hated.
Thank you, miss. Have a nice day too.